Hey there, I'm Phil Buck, the editor for the MSP Media Network, and I've had the unique privilege of seeing pretty much every single second of MSP Dispatch, from the thrilling tech updates, the deep dives into cybersecurity, and all the moments that make the world of managed service providers so fascinating. Today we're doing something special. We're taking a trip down memory lane to revisit our most viewed episodes of the year. It's been a journey filled with insights, innovation, and eyebrows on fleek, and of course some motherfucking dolphins along the way. So grab your Flipper Zero, your YubiKeys, or any of your favorite tech gadgets that Ray probably already has just right off camera, and let's count down the highlights that captivated our MSP community in 2023.
Jumping straight into my first story from bleepingcomputer.com, Google Drive users are angry over losing months of stored data. Google Drive users are facing frustrations as recent files have just vanished and appear to have been replaced by an April to May 2023 snapshot, as reported on Google's support forums. Activity logs show no sign of user-initiated deletions, and that confirms that users didn't delete them. Messages in Google's support forum include customer frustrations and responses that do not offer a solution. A quote coming in: "I pay extra each month to store folders in the cloud so that it's safe. So it is devastating that all my work appears to have been lost." And similar messages can be found among posts related to the problem. At the same time, a separate glitch reported on November 22nd adds to the frustration, preventing some users from accessing files for the past 6 months. Volunteer support agents mention an ongoing investigation by product engineers cautioning against making folder changes. Additionally, users are encouraged to explore additional cloud services until a resolution is reached. Straight from Axios.com, Bing's chatbot freaks out just a little bit. As users test drive Microsoft Bing's new AI-powered chat mode, they're finding a little bit more than they bargained for. The tech giant partnered with OpenAI to bring its popular GPT language model into Bing in an effort to challenge Google's dominance of both search and AI. Some users describing it, well, as rude, aggressive, and unhinged. To journalists at The Verge, it claimed to be spying on Microsoft's developers through their webcams. It most certainly cannot. And tech pundit Ben Thompson got Bing to vow revenge on a German student who had figured out how to uncover some of the bot's primary programming directives. Then it told Thompson he was a bad researcher. Many other users have found that Bing claims to be infallible, argues with its users to tell it it's the year 2023, or reports a variety of mood disorders. Coming into my first story hot from ZDNet.com, how to use ChatGPT to write code? First question is, can you actually use ChatGPT to write code? Can you replace a programmer? What programming languages does ChatGPT know? Well, most of them. PHP, Python, Java, Kotlin, Swift, C#, and even COBOL, Fortran, Forth, Lisp, Algol, RPG, the report program generator, not the role-playing game, and even IBM 360 assembly language. You can even use ChatGPT to explore libraries and resources. I would also like to point out, before we go into the story any further, that there are important facts about ChatGPT and coding. The first one is that it can, in fact, write useful code. The second is that it can get completely lost, fall down a rabbit hole and chase its own tail and basically produce absolutely unusable garbage. Don't forget, there are other AI alternatives for coding: GitHub Copilot, Codium, Code Whisperer, Tab9, Codex, IntelliCode, and Ask Cody.
In our security story, the story that's taking the MSP world by storm, 3CX VoIP desktop application possibly compromised with command and control messages going out to unknown parties. On March 22nd, the first alerts went out. SentinelOne started alerting to the 3CX desktop application for Windows and Mac, and it was flagged a false alert. On March 29th, it happened again, and they also deemed it a false alert. This was from the SentinelOne vigilance team. However, upon closer inspection by CrowdStrike, by Huntress, by Sophos, and many other security researchers, it was actually found it did include suspicious software that was doing calls out to unknown websites. We're showing the Huntress blog article because Huntress always comes with a breadth of information.
Jumping straight into my first story from TechCrunch.com from Zach Whitaker. Okta, a major identity and access management company, recently experienced a security breach. An unauthorized hacker gained access by using a stolen credential to infiltrate the customer support ticketing system. Within the system, the hacker accessed sensitive browser recording files, known as HAR files, commonly used for troubleshooting. Security firm Beyond Trust, an Okta user, reported the breach upon detecting the exploitation of a session token to create an administrator account on Beyond Trust network. Approximately 1% of Okta's customers were affected, with the exact number undisclosed. This incident adds to a series of security challenges Okta has faced, including the previous breaches in 2022. As a consequence of this breach, Okta's stock price fell by 11%. And coming in hot and spicy from my first story, LastPass says employee's home computer was hacked and the corporate vault was taken. Straight from ArsTechnica.com. Already hurting from a breach that put partially encrypted login data into the threat actor's hands, LastPass on Monday said that the same attacker hacked an employee's home computer and obtained a decrypted vault available only to a handful of company developers. Although an initial intrusion into LastPass ended on August 12th, officials of the leading password manager said that the threat actor was, quote, actively engaged in a new series of reconnaissance, enumeration, and exfiltration activity from August 12th to August 26th. This was accomplished by targeting DevOps home computer and exploiting a vulnerable third-party media software package, named Plex, which we'll get into in just a moment, to implant a keylogger malware. The threat actor was able to capture the employee's master password as it was entered after the employee authenticated with MFA and gain access to the DevOps engineer's LastPass corporate vault. And the vault gave access to a shared cloud storage environment that contained encryption keys for customer vault backups stored in Amazon S3 buckets. According to a person briefed on a private report from LastPass who spoke on the condition of anonymity, the media software package that was exploited on the company's computer was Plex. Interesting, Plex has reported its own network intrusion on August 24th, just 12 days after the second incident commenced. It's not clear if Plex was connected to the LastPass intrusion, and representatives of LastPass and Plex didn't respond to emails coming from the story.
In my top story, fake browser updates targeting Mac systems with info stealer, written by Jai Vijayan for Dark Reading. The ClearFake campaign, initially centered on Windows, has now become a cross-platform threat by targeting Mac OS. Using deceptive browser updates, this social engineering tactic tricks Mac users into unwittingly downloading Atomic Stealer, a powerful information-stealing malware. This shift from Windows-centric methods highlights the campaign's adaptability to exploit Mac OS vulnerabilities. Additionally, the malware, available for rent at $1,000 per month, employs a one-hit smash-and-grab strategy, stealing passwords, browser data, and cryptocurrency wallets. The ClearFake campaign and its malware reflect a recent surge in threat actor interest in Mac OS, with Accenture reporting a 1,000% increase since 2019. The findings highlight concerns as established actors with positive reputations and substantial budgets actively seeking to exploit and bypass macOS security functions, raising significant concerns about the evolving threat landscape for Apple's operating system.
In our first story, Windows and Linux devices are vulnerable to a new LogoFAIL firmware attack, brought to us by Dan Gooden from Ars Technica. Binarily researchers have uncovered a critical firmware attack dubbed LogoFAIL, impacting virtually all Windows and Linux systems. Unveiled at the Black Hat Security Conference, the proof of concept exploit uses about 24 long-standing but recently discovered vulnerabilities in the UEFI software. LogoFAIL targets the early boot process, hijacking image parsers to replace logos with malware-laden files. This allows attackers to remotely execute code before security measures activate, taking full control of the device and bypassing protections like Secure Boot. With complete access to memory disk in the operating system, hackers can steal data, monitor activity, and install malicious programs undetected. Affected devices include x64 and ARM CPUs from major manufacturers like Intel, AMD, Lenovo, Dell, and HP. While patches are available, they vary by manufacturer, making immediate system updates crucial.
In my top story, ConnectWise embraces OpenAI. ConnectWise announced last week that they were excited to announce a new integration with OpenAI using the power of ChatGPT. It quotes, "You will be able to solve complex end client challenges with ease. This initial AI integration will enable you to automate customer ticketing and issue tracking processes, leading to faster response times and improved customer service and engagement." This is only the beginning of the AI innovation within the Azio platform.
And in my first story from darkreading.com, researchers at Salt Labs identified critical API misconfigurations in 3 major online platforms: Grammarly, Video, and Bukalapak, potentially exposing hundreds of millions of users to credential theft and financial fraud. These flaws in the open authorization, that's OAuth standard, could allow attackers to take over accounts on numerous websites. The issue, dubbed Pass the Token, involves using a third-party site's token for unauthorized access to other services. Discovered between February and April, these vulnerabilities have been resolved in the mentioned services, but similar risks may persist throughout thousands of other websites. OAuth's implementation by developers is often flawed, despite the standard itself being secure. To mitigate risks, developers must understand OAuth's intricacies, possibly using third-party monitoring tools to detect and prevent such vulnerabilities.
So how'd you like our top stories of 2023 clip show? If you liked it, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you'd like to hear more, be sure to subscribe on YouTube or follow us on your favorite podcatcher. Also, be sure to join our Discord where you can be part of the story submitting process. We post stories all week and we choose which ones we're going to cover here on the show. Yours could be one of the next top 10 in 2024. Also, be sure to follow us on social media. It's at MSP Media TV. And if you have any questions, you should email us news@mspmedia.tv for answers on the next episode, or leave us a voicemail at 833-MSP-Network. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in with us for a full year of amazing, scary, terrifying, and enlightening tech stories. And we're looking forward to bringing you hundreds more in the new year. As Ray always says, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you in 2024.
This has been a broadcast of the MSP Media Network.